So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming to my presentation. I also want to thank Anwar for his invitation, and of course organizing committee for organizing such a wonderful conference. So today I would like to give a talk about deposition environment in the Caspian region. I will mainly focus on paleoclimate. So the research work hard out with my German colleagues and Austrian colleagues, and we mainly focus on the Schumacher region, which is very close to here. So I will give you information about study area, evolution of Eastern Paratethys Sea, what's Eastern Paratethys Sea, and the provenance of our sediments and paleoclimate. So, Miocene is one of the last, Miocene is the last warmest period in Earth's evolution history. It starts approximately before 23 million years ago and finished 5.3 million years. And during the Miocene time, different geological events happened. The climate fluctuation, uplifting of Alps, and uplift of Crater Caucasus, and etc. Such events influence to the Earth, to the Earth, and the main factors that the main characterization of the Miocene time is change volume of the ice sheet in the Antarctic, and at the end of Miocene the ice sheet was formed in the northern hemisphere. For us, as we studied on the Eastern Paratethys, the Eastern Paratethys was formed during end of the Eocene, and it was a part of the big Tethys Ocean. And since the Miocene time until Pliocene, the water level in this Eastern Paratethys was changed several times, and some lakes forms, some lakes were washed. It's the end of it's the start of the Miocene, and then we can see the middle of Miocene. We can see the water level was down, and we can see during middle Miocene the Caucasus mountains forms, and we can see how this Caspian Sea started form, and how this Caspian Sea, between Caspian Basin and Black Sea connection was restricted. So such events influence to our region, and at the end of this Miocene, the Black Sea and Caspian Sea was separated. So now Caspian Sea is a lake present time. This is characterized by a lacustre environment. But we try to study past environment based on geochemistry and mineralogy data. We mainly focus on Perküşkül area, which is very close to Baku. It takes just 1 hour from here, and we took some samples because we took some samples in order to reconstruct the provenance and climate. Because you know the Caspian region, it's surrounded by Russian platform, Greater Caucasus, Lesser Caucasus, here Elbrus mountain, and Turkmenistan area, and the different climate from this continent influence the sedimentation process in the Caspian basin. And also Miocene is interesting for us because our oil and gas are mainly formed in the Miocene sediment. So our goal of our research to identify the provenance, because for us it's important to know where from our sediments. And after now the origin, the provenance of the sediments, we can talk about this climate, And also we would like to identify a relation between climate change and water level in the Eastern Paratethys Sea. So this is outcrops. It's a very wonderful outcrop. Starts with a pirate. Even you can see some jarosite here and the gypsum carbonate. And it is also is interesting if you takes any sheet of this rocks, you can see some fossils inside, such as fish and other marine animals. So what we did, we analyze, we study different kind of minerals in the sediment. It's one of the imagination of the scan electron microscope, where you can see some minerals like quartz, mectite, feldspatz, kaolinite, illite. And of course we did some geochemical analysis. Based on geochemical analysis, we make such as discrimination diagram, which is very helpful for us. It helps us to understand provenance, what kind of deposits were eroded during Miocene time. And what we found that the main source was the Russian platform. Was Russian platform. Our sediments came from Russian platform into the area, to the Caspian Basin. And the deposits was mainly eroded by Paleo-Volga river system. Of course, we can see some mafic rocks which suggested us influence of the crater Caucasus, because crater Caucasus was because during the great at the time we can get some uplifting in the Caucasus region, and during this uplifting some sediments came into the basin, and of course some volcanic eruption also influenced to the deposition environment. And after identified the source, we focused on to reconstruct paleoclimate. We again use our geochemistry data, mainly major oxides like aluminium oxide, silicium oxide, titan oxide. And we identified that our climate changed between relatively arid and humid. And in this diagram we can see we calculate chemical index alternation, which indicates how chemical weathering was intensive, because when we have high chemical weathering, it means that climate was humid, and we can see how this climate changed during this Miocene time. So we can see the climate was humid, then was arid, and then again humid, and we can see how the trend decrease, which indicate high aridization of the time. And we can see during this arid time, during the arid time, we can see less influence, less sediments came into the basin, because the river system was not active. But during humid time, we can see high influence of these elements, which indicate high influence of different kind of minerals. So what our studies suggest, our studies showed that the climate was the main factor changing water level in Eastern Paratethys Sea, and due to arid climate, water level was down. And at the end of Miocene period, due to climate impact, Caspian Sea and Black Sea was separated. So I have told the conclusion. Thank you for your attention.